Yo tengo la comida de celebration en la cabeza. It was so good. The Brussels sprouts.
We are already live, Janet.
You see, I'm thinking about food because I'm
You're
hungry.
thinking about
Hi,
food,
everyone.
and I'm doing a detox, and
Yeah,
you're
she's
talking
doing a
about food.
I'm gonna start mine on Monday because I'm
Nice.
gonna do a retreat this weekend, and I want to enjoy the food.
Mhm.
It's part of just fellowship.
Yes, it is
It's part of
definitely.
fellowship. So
Well,
hi,
but
everyone.
also at the same time, it's good to be conscious.
Yeah,
Because
yes, and we
because
are.
every weekend you'll be in that sort of things,
Yeah,
events, and then it's all about being conscious of the next step
yeah. The nice
keeping
thing,
yourself in that balance. Yes,
absolutely.
definitely. So hello,
Hi,
Soul
everyone.
Tribe,
As
Soul
you all,
Tribe.
so tribe, you all heard me talking about food. How
Yes.
is everyone? So, my name is Janet Luciana,
And I
Maridari
am
del
Maya
Sol.
del Sol, and we are
Here,
here again every Friday, bringing some information on consciousness,
juicy
juicy
information
topics to grow
to make you think.
personally and also to help you expand your consciousness. So
Yes,
welcome.
yes,
We see
yes.
some
Welcome.
people on Instagram already. We see Low Loka, and then we see Marilyn, and then we also see some people on YouTube. Thank you for joining us
Yes,
tonight.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much.
We have a beautiful topic, a juicy topic, as Janet usually says.
Yes.
And it's the voices of our ancestors build up our story.
I mean, think about it. We don't even do it.
Yes, it's not even us.
It's not even us.
Not us choosing.
We had no.
But we think we're choosing, but in reality, we're not.
We're just reacting to what was told, and we follow it faithfully
Yes, and unconsciously,
and
of course.
unconsciously.
Yes,
Of
not
course.
because we want to, but because we don't know it. And this conditioning is so ingrained so deeply that it's hard for us for even to think about it. We just act upon that conditioning that it was not only from your parents or your family system, it comes in the ancestral system, and pretty much it depends on your background, because every background, some people migrated and then they met here in America and they had a new family, but they also are carrying a background. So we must be aware of what our background is, and also to be able to kind of decipher what are the voices that are speaking within you that make you act or make decisions in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah, and that's how you find yourself repeating patterns
yes,
and continue to repeat them
yes,
until something happens that you say, wait a minute, and you ask questions.
yes,
You seek to understand. And that's when you start the awakening process.
definitely. Hi, Norca. Hi, Carola. We are seeing you. Thank you for being here. Yes, definitely,
And the good
definitely.
news is that sometimes you do it in this lifetime and sometimes you do it in others. So you repeat it again in another lifetime. So let's listen to what Maya has to say so that we don't repeat this again in another lifetime. Because you do it again with the same people. We don't want to do that.
Yes. So we are really talking here about reprogramming in order to change that. But also we need to recognize those voices.
Mhm.
We can hear them, but we cannot deny those voices. But we still are carrying, for example, the fears. The fears would allow you, or actually these sort of fears that are connected to our family system and how they made it, they mostly carry limitations. Yes, because usually it's like if you do it this way, even though you don't like it, it's gonna work. But if you do it differently, you don't know if it will work. So just don't do it differently. And then you are in front of a new opportunity, a new possibility. And guess what? The voices come from the depth of your being and start telling you, don't do it that way. Do it the same way. It's safer.
It will fight you,
Yes.
and it'll make you so uncomfortable that you'll want to stay in the same way. And that's what I used to call the tug of war, the spiritual warfare. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because breaking out of that, that's moving forward. That's doing the change, and that's the work.
That's the work. And um, it requires brave, like you to be brave enough to decide to try something new, because your voice or the voices of your ancestors don't want you to break from the structures. When some people in the family system wanted to break the structure in the past, we are talking about in the past, maybe the consequences weren't that fun, not for that person or not even for the family system. So all the members suffer the consequences of one. That's why the whole clan wants to keep you as it is, or it wants the structure to continue being as it is, because one member changes the thing and then it kind of shakes the whole genealogical tree that is used to do things in certain ways.
It's a form of control in a way.
It is a form of control in a way. And if we think about it, where that control comes from,
Didn't come from me.
it didn't come from our parents,
It didn't come from us.
it didn't come from our ancestors. It's all part of a plan. We're not going to talk about the plan, but there is a large plan that started long time ago, where we need to control humanity, and then that control is the one that have us today still making decisions out of fear and following the same limitations. Yes. So since we are talking about reprogramming, because that's what started talking about last week, about how to keep yourself conscious of your body, what you eat, of your emotions, how you feel, of your thoughts, how you think. And all of this is interconnected, because those memories are in your body, are in your heart, and are in your mind, in the epigenetic. It's at a cellular level. So you don't recognize many times this information, but it awakens and creates the same sort of fear or limitation when you want to do it differently than the system did. We all want to do it differently, as our parents did, as our grandparents did. We all know that, right? It's like I have many people that come for therapy and they usually say, I don't want to do it like my mom. I want to do it differently. I don't want, I want to hold a beautiful relationship. I don't want a father that abandons the system just as my father did. But since the root is so strong, and then there is an invisible loyalty, then we ended up doing just as the past, because we are rejecting. And why this happens? Because we haven't integrated those memories. So the solution is in integrating those memories that weren't resolved in the past.
And that's what's so interesting. That to me, that was really like I learned that. Like you have to accept the fact that you say, I don't want to do it like my mom. And then say yes. And I'm willing to learn how not to do it, but I have to accept that I am doing it like my mom.
Yes.
And I accept that I'm doing it like my mom. So like then in that I'm just saying my mom as an example. So like that I can go ahead, and once I embrace and accept and work through that, then I can start doing it differently.
Yes. And how do we accept that, what we don't want, or how we want things differently? First step is honoring the past, honoring the destiny of your parents as it was, is one of the first steps. Is saying, I see that was your destiny. that was what you chose. Back then, they didn't have the information to do it differently. They didn't have therapy, they didn't have help as we do today. So that was part of why they couldn't break from that limitation. But today, we, the descendants, all of this knowledge is more open for everybody to start seeing where am I connected to or attached to that I need to disconnect or liberate. How? Integrating, liberating, accepting, honoring. And honoring those stories meaning is saying those stories live within me.
Mhm.
Yes. Those voices, I can hear them now, clearly because they are within me. They are part of my memories. And once I get to accept that, I can acknowledge them easier. I can be more aware of them. And then from there, I can be conscious enough to make it differently. Of course, if you get the opportunity to do a family constellation session, that will save you a lot of time and energy finding those memories, finding those voices. Yes. I'm going to just give you an example here of how that happens. Yes. I had a constellation, a family session constellation. Let's talk about the freshest ones of all the ones that I've been doing lately. And that happened, I believe it was yesterday. So this lady comes and she says, well, I have an issue because I really want a partner. Like I want a spouse. I want to have a family. But when someone approaches, I kind of disconnect right away. I don't feel comfortable. I get anxious. I feel fear. She was just explaining all of these feelings of what happens when a man was trying to approach her, in that sense of, connecting with her more romantically, right? So she couldn't understand why she was having these sort of feelings that instead of connecting, she kind of like disconnects from the person right away. She feels that and she's like, I want to avoid that. Still, I don't know how to do it because I really want to have a spouse and a family. So I was like, okay, let's see if we can find the root of that. Because listen to the voices of the ancestors. The voices of her ancestors were building up her story, the story that is she is living today, and that she got to change by doing this family constellation session. So we brought to the morphogenetic field, because that's how we do a family constellation work. We opened the field. That means the field of memories of her life, her parents, and her ancestors. Yeah. So I had asked her before some questions about mom, dad, grandparents. And so I decided to bring more of the father side because the tendency of infidelity was there, was very strong, right? The father had a woman that it was parallel with his wife. So it was her and her mom, and then the father had another a woman with children, but the mother didn't know about it.
Mm.
She found out later. She got so upset and she left him. So when she was talking or referring to his grandpa from her paternal side, she said, oh, my grandfather from my paternal side, he was a good man, but he made a mistake. Those were the words she used. He made a mistake. And I was like, so what was the mistake? Oh, well, my grandma had a woman working at her house, and she was the lady taking care of the house, like cleaning and all of that. And my grandpa had an affair with her, and they had children. My mom didn't know about, I mean, my grandma didn't know about it, but when she found out, she just kicked him out, and also this woman with the children, right? So when we put everybody in the field, because we brought the energy of someone representing grandma, they didn't even know the story, because this is how it happens in the constellation world. People who come to serve helping, representing the members of the family of this woman. They don't know the story. They don't know what happened. They don't know what happened in her past. I do everything blind just to see how the energies speak. All of a sudden, I bring the energy of the grandma. And grandma starts saying that she feels anxiety, that she has this sort of fear, and then she feels chills. And then I put grandpa. Grandpa doesn't want to look at grandma because he's carrying a guilt of what I did. And grandma is feeling shame because in those times when a man would do something like that, it would be like, oh my God, what are others going to say about me? Just humiliating what my husband just did to me, right? So she was feeling this sort of chill, like chilling in the body. And then the lady who came to Constellation, she said, I don't know, but I just identify so much with that energy. I don't know who that is, but I feel the same way when I'm around men. Okay, so I decided to bring a third energy, and that's the energy of this third woman, let's say, who usually interferes in the system to be the one who commits the infidelity with the husband, let's say. And then she positioned next to the wife, so next to grandma. So it was so funny to see how grandma was so uncomfortable with this other woman next to her that she decided at a certain point to stand up and move forward because she couldn't stand the energy of this woman. So grandma she was rejecting this woman. She was excluding grandpa because of what he did. And she had anger and sadness. And all of these sensations of anxiety and chills and all of these things that she was feeling was exactly what her granddaughter was feeling. And so in the constellation work, what we did was that we created a reconciliation. I brought the energy of infidelity. So we put and then the lady who was constellating put the infidelity behind a tree. I have a tree, the Christmas tree I haven't taken down. So she put the energy of infidelity next to the tree, but hiding and kind of sticking out the head. So it's like, oh, so the infidelity is inside her genealogical tree. And her grandpa don't see it because it's behind him, but he's acting upon it, bringing more infidelity and more chaos in the system. So I moved the infidelity in front of him, and he got to see it. Grandma got to see it. And then we created reconciliation. Grandma could cry, finally say, that was painful, that hurt. I was afraid of having, again, a new relationship. So grandma never married again. She stayed alone because men, cannot be loyal. Yeah, you cannot trust in men. Yeah. And not even in women either, because of what happened. So see, this woman who came to do the work, the voices she was hearing was the voices of grandma saying, watch out.
Man can be trusted.
You cannot trust in men. Don't marry. Don't find a man. Don't do it. See, so we want to do it differently, but if we don't do the work, we keep connected to the same sort of energy. And we are afraid of taking the steps to do it differently because we know there is some pain there. And I don't want to go through that pain because that hurts. And that's no fun. So we are trying to, actually, what we're trying to do is to protect our heart.
Because when you think about it, you do what you used to. You do what you see. You do what you hear. You do what your five senses felt. So even though you want to do it differently, unless you change that, you will do it the same.
Yes. And it's a survival mechanism. Yeah. It's just like animals. I don't know if you have heard that. I told you this story of, I was amazed by this, by the way. I read this in this book of Sheldrake, the guy that speaks about the morphogenetic fields and the morphic fields. And he was talking about water fleas. So they were studying because he used to study animals in the field. So he was studying the water fleas, and he was seeing how another how do you call those, the ones that attack the predators,
Yeah, the predators. Yeah,
the
that's
predators,
correct.
yes, were attacking the fleas, the water fleas. So these water fleas developed in the body, developed these sort of spikes.
Yeah.
So the predators
Went to
couldn't
attack.
couldn't get them, right? So he took these fleas, these water fleas, to a lab, and then they were like uh, growing or having all of this sort of, it was an experiment. And then they had generations after these ones that had already the spikes. 2 generations later, they weren't attacked by any predators.
Mhm.
Still, they kept the
The
spikes.
Wow, that is interesting.
Isn't that amazing?
Story repeated.
Same thing happens with the human. It's like it's a mechanism to defend myself because I don't want to be hurt.
Mm.
I want to be accepted. I want to be approved. I want to feel like I'm loved. I want to feel like I belong,
Mhm.
right? And if I do it differently, as the system expects, then it's going to be painful. Yes, but at this time in history, we are not to be living up to that.
I mean, think about it. We chose to come to live in this time. So in a sense, right there, you're doing it a little bit different. It's
Yes.
just a matter of being aware now.
Yes, and to say, I really want to live this experience. And guess what happened in that constellation? Oh my God, this is so incredible. Just gonna tell you that I'm amazed by this constellation
It is,
work.
yeah.
The lady who was representing, um, the lady who was the affair of the grandpa,
Mm-hmm.
she is today in this life, right? In her real life or in her reality, she is the second one. She has a man who is married, and she's being the other one.
Oh wow.
So she was like, I don't know how this works. This is my first time coming to join you and to be representing an energy, but it's just my story, you know?
But that's what happens.
The
You end up
synchronicity.
when you serve. A lot of time you serve what needs to be healed in you.
Yes.
Because I know that has happened to me. And I'm like, why do I keep being the lady?
Yes.
You know, so it's amazing.
It is amazing. So the beauty of this is that she said, and I see it consciously, and I decide to accept my role without shame, without guilt. And I am consciously saying yes to this experience.
That takes a lot of courage, and that was very
Yes.
brave of her.
She was so brave just to confront it in front of the others, especially the lady who came to Constellate, because the lady who came to Constellate was very religious.
Mm.
You know, she was all very religious, maybe like grandma also. She was very into that sort of thing. And so for her, it was so amazing to see how we all connected from love without judging. Even the lady who came to Constellation was like, wow, she was amazed of being able to see herself, the other part, and accept it all, surrender to what was, and to liberate grandma's feelings. She finally could say, Grandma, these feelings are yours, are not mine. I'm not carrying anymore your fears of a man that I cannot trust in. This is life. We are all experiencing. We are all learning from this type of experiences. And I decide to give myself the opportunity to connect with love.
So that is the beauty of going into the field, because
Yes.
she was able to see where was the root,
Yes, she did.
and now she can come and do the reconciliation,
Mhm.
and now she can integrate it and evolve and move forward and have a
Yes.
different destiny.
Yes, that's how it works.
Very
It's simple. It's very simple.
Very simple. Yeah.
It's simple. Um, it sometimes, if you haven't done this work or haven't had the experience of a family constellations, we do recommend you to get into that fear.
Give yourself that as a gift. You deserve it.
It will give you, it will be a
Leap.
quantum leap in your life. You will have a step up to the, you will escalate to the next level of what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So Janet is a facilitator, by the way. Janet, what's your number? Because if you want,
yes, you can definitely DM me. And my number is 407 460 5756.
repeat it again.
407 460 5756. Let's get to know you a little better.
Yes. So
Let's help you know yourself a little better.
Exactly. So you can WhatsApp her. She
Mhm.
graduated from the institute that I have, and I want to support all
Her
the
students.
graduates, my students, because I
Mhm.
trust in the work that they are doing.
We have a great teacher.
We
have a great teacher. Thank God. Yes.
So we are actually about to close the fair, actually, the fair group of
Yeah.
graduates, yes, in March.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No,
yes.
February.
February. No, March. Oh,
No, February.
Oh my
this
God,
this was 7 and
And
February
February.
is 8.
that's right.
So everybody will be graduating.
Yes. So we want to invite you, we want to also invite you, if you are thinking of do this work of healing your ancestors, transcending your ancestors' memories, then the new program begins in April, the first weekend of April. You can take it online or you can take it on site. If you live in the area of Orlando, or if you decide to travel, you can come here and visit us. This is our temple, our home of everybody. So
Now I will say this. It's always better to do it on site.
mhm.
But if you don't live here, definitely online. It's great that is an option.
Yes.
But always plan if you do choose to move forward to at least pick up, a time when you can come and at least do a couple modules on site, so you could get that full experience. Like
Yes.
yeah. So you have a lot of choices. But
Yes.
at least you can plan that in.
Yes. So what happens in that program? A lot of good stuff.
A lot of tears.
Yeah, but good tears.
Good tears, yeah.
Yes, finally those liberating tears of our ancestors come through us.
Yeah, a lot of clarity. Oh my God, there's so much clarity
Understanding,
and support. Oh my God.
comprehension, support. We build a family, a soul family. Just as we are building with you a soul tribe here, we build a family where we support each other. And not only that, but you get to transcend your own memories, the memories of your ancestors, of your system. And of course, you get to be ready to facilitate others if it is your choice to do it after you finish.
Yeah, this is something you can do for yourself.
Yes.
Or like you said, like if you're a coach or a therapist, this could be part of your toolkit as well.
Yes.
So there's many options that you have with it.
Yes. So you can visit our website, systemichealinginstitute.com. We have the program in English and also in Spanish, of
And
course.
they both start in April.
They all start in April. First weekend is usually English. Second weekend usually is Spanish. So welcome to join us if that's your choice. And if you want to go ahead and experience the constellation, well, Janet is here available.
Yes, please feel free to just say, yeah, give yourself that beautiful gift.
Yes. So should we continue with the book,
Yes,
Janet?
yes. Remember the book, Date with Your Soul?
Yes. Alchemy.
Alchemy for the soul.
Alchemy for the soul.
And buy the book.
Buy the book.
It's transformational.
Yes. So this book isn't just a book. We are going over the information so you can understand, why am I connected to my ancestors? Is that true? Is that real? How that happens? Where are the disorders of the system? And how can I recreate the order and transcend those memories so I can free myself and change my destiny and the destiny of my descendants. Yes? So we are here sharing the information, but in this book, there are 22 exercises to create that transcendence. Let's say, well, I don't want to just tell anybody about my things, or I don't want to constellate, or I don't know how that experience is. I'm going to start like I'm a beginner. This book will tell you all. Plus, you will have the opportunity to experience, these exercises that will help you do or create this order that we're looking to recreate in our life. Yes. So for the ones that were following, because before we actually did a last program.
The second week of December.
Yes, exactly. So we are just returning. And for the ones that are following, we are on page 210. Already
halfway through.
Yes, halfway through. So let's see what the book says related to the voices of our ancestors build up our story.
Isn't that deep? When I was asked what we're gonna talk about, she told me that. I'm like, that is so deep. That means somebody else is building your life. Somebody else that we've been bringing with us unconsciously. It's just profound for me.
It is for me too, because when you think twice, you might think from your ego and say, no, I'm choosing myself. But if you understand this sort of work, you will understand that you're not.
You're not. Yeah.
Yes. If you can be more humble,
yeah,
then you can say, oh my God, no, maybe I'm not. So we appreciate also your comments. We are going to start doing the reading. If something comes up and you want to share, welcome. You can put it in the comments. We always want to. Oh, I see the comments. Dave, you're there.
Hi, Dave.
Hi. Oh, he's saying we have a great teacher. He's also one of our students.
He'll be graduating next month, so
Yes.
he will be added to the directory because
Yes.
Maya also has a directory, all her students.
Yes, so he'll be added to it, and then also you will be able to have facilitations on family constellations with him. And Jasmine is also there, and so we have a directory of constellators that you can go to our website and look for it and make an appointment with them.
Read a little of their story and see which one you resonate with, and definitely give them a call.
Exactly. Or actually you can schedule now with them directly.
We do have our calendar.
Yes, everything is
schedule
in the system now. So finally we're making that to work because it took us so long to find out how it works.
And we are so grateful to Maya for doing that. That gives us an opportunity to really do the craft, and really be of service to all you guys. So we think
yes, I'm so happy and so glad that you actually chose to do this work for yourself, and also if you're serving others, it makes me happier because I feel like I'm like accomplished, mission accomplished.
The whole world needs this. The whole world.
Yes, something that definitely is part of the work that we all must do, and not many people is doing, and that's why we are here every Friday, kind of trying to push information and make people awaken or aware of it.
Awareness, This is about, definitely. I second that. This is about awareness and kind of giving you more choices into your life.
Yes, exactly. All right, so let's see what the book says. The fear of being punished, ridiculed, judged, excluded, or humiliated conditioned the individual in his development. Yes, and it still does.
Haven't we all kind of felt that?
Yes, definitely. I used to dance at Janet, and I didn't go to auditions because I didn't want not to be accepted. Can you believe that's so ridiculous?
We look at it now, we're like, oh my God. But that moment you are frozen in fear.
Yes. And what was making me take that decision or make that decision? There was a wound of rejection in my family. And then this big reject, actually there was a memory of rejection and exclusion. And actually my family was in survival when this happened, that if you show yourself in front of others because of your belief, you might get killed.
Mm. There you go.
So I was like, no, I'm not gonna show myself. I'm not gonna go there. So I was being evasive, like evading. How do you say that?
Yeah, evading. Yeah.
Yeah, going
Yeah.
to places and not doing the auditions. And I, of course, I didn't want a no, because I didn't like the no. It made me feel like I'm not good enough, right?
And you think
So
about it, you see Maya here doing Facebook Live and all this, but when I met Maya, she was extremely shy.
yes,
She would not get in front of the screen.
no,
I mean, this here is extremely courageous and very brave of her. And it was a journey.
it was a
It was a
journey.
journey for her.
Yes. Even speaking English for me was
Exactly, because she comes, English is her second language.
yes. And
Yeah,
then I
so
decided to go to Toastmasters.
which was
So I
great.
finally could be here in front of you, talking and feeling comfortable and just sharing some words of wisdom, like
And
the
being
song says.
comfortable whether her English is good or her English was bad.
Yes,
Because there's no
exactly.
bad. You know what I mean? It's all
Yes.
what you feel. But the
Yes.
fact that, like I always say, I totally admire you
Thank you.
because she's coming forward to help us. So we are so grateful. Yeah.
I do what I can, it's out of love. That's what I can say. It's out of love. It's part of my purpose, and I guess if you wanna continue doing your purpose, you must escalate. And this was just one step up for me, and I had to climb for me, in order for me to climb to the next step. I definitely had to reconcile and heal that memory from my ancestors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. See, it's easy. It's easy. Once you do that, you do the hardest part. Then the manifestation comes a lot easier.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So let's see. This conditioning still continues to mark the course of history and our destiny. It is in our human nature the need to feel belonging, loved, and accepted. Yes? Sometimes we choose not to do what we want, but what the clan wants, so as not to lose that sense of belonging. Or we carry a false desire of wanting to look good in front of others to feel accepted. Yes, so let's talk a little bit about
Yeah.
this one, because
Mhm.
yes, sometimes we want, but we don't allow ourselves, we don't give permission to say what I want to express, because it's not appropriate, because people is going to judge me, because someone in my system maybe expressed something and the consequences were harsh on him or her. And so I'd rather stay quiet, for example. Yes. So how many times have you seen yourself thinking, maybe I should just even my opinion is not important. I'm not gonna say anything.
Mhm.
Something is behind that.
Yeah, and that's, you think about it as something that we need to ask why.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Ask yourself, why am I having these thoughts? Why are you saying that, Maya?
Yeah.
Why are you thinking that way? Where that comes from?
Yeah. Even where did this start?
Yes. Is that my thought?
Whose thought is this?
Or could it be the voices of my ancestors telling me that that's it?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's see what else. Another reason we choose to be loyal to the clan is because in the past, it was very difficult to survive outside the clan. You could die. That's true. Just remember the cave times,
Oh yeah, that's
and
true.
just not even the cave times, even afterwards. If you were living in a village and the clan expelled you, then you had no place to go. If it was a winter, you would die because you won't have a place to protect yourself from the weather.
And the thing is that clans are very faithful to each other.
Yes.
So if you get shunned, everybody else will shun you,
Yes.
whether they feel it's right or not, because they're so controlled by the clan.
Yes. And so it is what the clan um, just says
I
or
mean,
does.
we see that even today.
Of course,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
we are following the systems.
Yeah.
Every system is just the same as before. You follow or you leave. It's simple. And if you feel like desperate, you say, no, but I don't want to leave because I want to feel belonging, then you stay, you follow. Then you are not being yourself. You are limiting because of the clan.
Yeah, you conform.
You're conform.
Yeah,
And that's what
yeah.
happened in the past. It's like where I can be thinking differently. I want to do it differently. I want to express myself. I don't agree. But I'd rather say that I do, because if I don't, then I'm going to be expelled and I will die. That's It's as simple as that. It's all a matter of survival.
Yeah, I know for me, I can say I put my head in the sand because it was easier to just be in the clan than to not.
Mhm.
Until I finally realized, you know what, being in the clan was painful. So I was
Mhm.
able to start lifting my head out of the sand.
Yes.
And yeah, it took a lot of courage to do that.
And that's our stories because we grew up in a family system.
Hmm.
And when we are children, we depend on that system to be able to
Survive.
survive, to grow, to have food, to have a house, to have what we need, no matter how much they give you or not, right? At least you got to overcome that stage in your life to be able to be where you are today.
Because then when everything is said and done, we want to feel safe,
Yes.
so
But along that part of the path, you got very conditioned by the
yeah,
system.
that's yes.
So, what were the beliefs of your system, the spiritual beliefs? What were the social cultural beliefs of your community? And so you're still there. And we are in, if again, as I said at the beginning, we are in that moment of reprogramming. And in order for us to reprogram the past, we must observe, what am I following unconsciously?
Hmm.
What voices am I listening to that I keep repeating the same pattern?
And those are excellent questions to ask yourself anytime you find yourself in similar situation. Like, wait a minute, I've done this before. You ask yourself those questions.
Yes.
That'll start giving you answers.
Yes, definitely. So what else it says here? So today we still limit ourselves because we don't want to feel alone or disconnected from any of the systems that we belong to. Look at the children when they are like in that teenagers, they all want to belong to the group.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna do it like them. I'm gonna dress like them. I'm going to act like them. I'm going to talk like them. If they don't do it, I don't do it. If they do it, I do it. So they still, if this is a sort of still, I want to do it like the clan, you know.
Hmm.
They want to break from the family, but they're still falling into the conditioning of those groups that they want to feel that they belong to.
Hmm.
Mhm. So we are afraid of the consequences that our ancestors lived because they chose to do it differently. Yeah, so maybe one of those children at that age say, "Well, I don't care about trends, or I don't think that's important," and the clan would be like, "Ooh, you are against us, you know. We don't want you here because you're not just as us." And so the bullying can happen, the rejection happens, and then of course the child is like then goes home and I don't want to go to school because everybody bullies me,
Wow.
right? And all of the conflicts that happen because of that.
I mean, think about it. We have epidemics of bullying. So, I
It's
mean, where did all that
yeah.
come from? All of a sudden, I mean, now it's in the open. Before all that was happening, it was just shut down.
Yes.
So that right there is speaking a lot of how
Yes.
much healing has to be done.
Yes, it's all stories from humanity.
Hmm.
If you think of, let's say, women of medicine, the so-called witches, right? People would, you are not following uh, this belief. You are against it. So you should die. And the bully is like, they bully you to the point they will burn these people.
Yeah, they think
Yes.
of that.
So,
Yeah.
so it's pretty much the same, because a child who feels rejected or bullied feels burned because I'm not gonna be able to be with my friends, or at
Mhm.
school I don't feel comfortable. I feel judged, excluded again.
Mhm.
Yes,
It is history repeating itself
it's history repeating in modern times,
in modern times.
but same stories, same exact stories. Until each of us, because it's not, oh, you should do see that. No, no, no. Each of us has the responsibility to see where I'm at with my own stories. What am I attracting into my life? Because your thoughts are attracting where you are, and your emotions as well. So what wasn't reconciled, or those memories that weren't reconciled from your ancestors, are the voices that still are talking to you, saying, "Don't do it that way." Don't do it that way. If you do it, you're going to regret it, because it's going to be painful. So we again limit ourselves the possibility to do it differently. And at this time in history, that's not going to happen. If you leave the clan, you have ways to survive. You're not gonna be eaten by a tiger,
Right,
You,
yes, different times. Thank
you
God.
get a shelter where
Thank
to
God,
stay,
yes.
and food, and that's not gonna happen. So no matter what, it's all a fear, ancestral fear that you are carrying, that you need to work on, overcome it. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
See, let's see what else. Have you heard yourself saying, but what if? And that is very important. What if I do it differently? What if, right? Or what will others think of if I? See, what others would think of me if I do it that way? What my mom would think of me? What my dad would think of me? Would they approve me? Because we are looking for the approval of the parents, no matter if we are 60, 70, or 80 years old.
Yeah, that's one thing that's true. We want to live like the perfect life.
Yes,
Even
or
to-
as they thought it was perfect.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So if I'm getting out of track, the voices of your ancestors come to you and say, "Don't do it that way. I
Right.
taught you better."
Come to wheel you right back in.
Yes. So you need to transcend those memories, and you need to transcend the conditioning of what you learn with your parents. Otherwise, the voices are going to be stronger, and you will do it the same.
Yeah.
Yes. So this questioning comes to us from an ancestral memory linked to a fear of feeling rejected or excluded from our community for thinking or doing things differently. How many times do you apologize today? This is a question that is here. This is a conditioning.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
that is-
sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Where that I'm sorry comes from? For me, it was very strange when I came to the States, and everybody would say, I'm sorry. And I was like, why is this person sorry? Everybody says that he's sorry. I couldn't
Yeah,
understand
it's like
it.
part of their vocabulary, like constantly.
But it's a conditioning.
Yeah, it is.
It's a conditioning. Where that comes from. Where did we learn to apologize so much for what we did? Someone taught that. And then that comes out of, you did something wrong, apologize, apologize, apologize. And so today is so ingrained that even myself today say, I'm sorry when I touch someone, when really nothing happens. But I'm supposed to say that. So I consciously say it, even though I think about it. Why do I have to say it? Just to be polite.
This is what they politically correct. Yeah, I find
Yes.
myself doing. Oh, sorry.
Yes, yes. So in my country, we don't apologize for that. People will bump into you,
Oops.
and you don't even worry about it. It's like just in a hurry, or you just don't think about it. but here it's just different.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes, so the I'm sorry is used to apologize for everything, no matter what is. It comes automatically. See, this is an ingrained memory. You feel bad for just anything. Again, the memories of shame and guilt. Usually, the I'm sorry has behind the scenes is or shame or
Okay.
guilt.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and I hear many people that says, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's my fault. Oh, I'm sorry, it's my fault. I'm sorry, it's my fault." So they are carrying a lot of guilt or shame because they are saying that it's their fault. Oh, it
Mhm.
was me. It was me. Oh, it's me. So why it comes in automatically? Maybe that system is carrying shame or guilt.
Mhm.
See, it's important to understand that.
And to see it.
Yes,
Yeah, to see
with
it. Yeah.
this awareness, it's important for you to self-observe the simple things like this. Simple things like this are telling you where you are. If you put yourself into self-observation, it's like, why did I say that? Or why did I thought that? Why was that thought in me? Why am I thinking that way?
Mhm.
Why am I doing it like that? Hmm?
Mhm.
When we dare to take a step against what is expected, we feel fear. Every time, no matter what, we take a step into an unknown field, we are going to feel fear.
That's true.
That's something natural because it's like, oh my God, am I going to be rejected, judged? Am I going to fail? People is going to laugh of me or bully me, or every time we just think of the negative because that's how human has been conditioned. I'm
Yep.
not good enough. So then the doubt of what I'm able to do comes in place. And so we are breaking that programming today.
Mhm.
Not by just saying that today here, but the reprogramming of the past is changing, and we are changing the more we step into that unknown field and say, but does not really matter the or the results. I'm just doing it.
I'm gonna move forward.
I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I have a quote. Oh no, but it's in Spanish. But it's from Michael Jordan. And it says something like when he throws the ball, he doesn't expect it to he doesn't have expectations of what's going to happen. Because if he does, the negative thoughts will make the ball come out of the thing, you know?
So he
So
just thought, yeah, that's really
just
interesting. He just throws and just
yeah,
faith that it will do his thing.
yeah. So it's interesting because it's like I'm not gonna be
He
thinking.
surrenders. He lets it go.
Yes, yes, it's a surrendering. Say, okay, I'm gonna
Surrender.
step into this, throw it, see what happens. But I'm not expecting because then the Morphy is that what you want is going to come the opposite. So,
Mhm.
so probably that is what it will
That
be
was the
affecting
best
the
thing he
results.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So maybe that's part of his
Success.
success.
The
Yes,
fact that he surrendered and let it go.
that's a reprogrammed person.
Hmm.
See. Okay. When we dare to take a step against what is expected, we feel fear. We hear all the voices of our ancestors and the conditioning from all the systems, not only from our family, but from church, school, or society, questioning or saying, don't even think about it. Yes, don't do it that way. Don't you dare. Why didn't you do it as you were told? Why don't you follow what we believe, what we taught you? That's safer.
Hmm.
So these are some of the voices, not all. We just put some here. Just for you to start self-observing that what you hear inside you, all the doubt, it's not yours.
So now when you hear it, you go, wait a minute. Let me look at that. Where is that coming from?
Who
Where
was
did I
thinking this
where did
way?
I learn that?
Yes. Or who had that sort of fear?
Yep.
Grandpa, grandma, mom, dad, who? Someone. Yes. So breaking the patterns of what we were taught will awaken the memory of guilt. Yes, because it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna do it differently. No one is going to love me. So these feelings from the past affect our possibilities to be energetically, mentally, and emotionally free, to become authentic, to use our potential to the fullest, or to do things differently. So our potential is there. We are the ones who limit it because of these voices. Yes. So those feelings of shame and guilt awaken our fear of failure or being criticized. So we restrain from experiencing our life differently. And that's what's keeping us like that. And we are changing that today.
Yes.
I insist.
Yes, you changed that today.
I share this with you so that every time you begin to hear the voices of the ancestors in you, you can recognize that the structure of the system wants everything to stay the same. It is important to realize that you are already living in another moment in history. It will bring awareness to change the structure of the past to be updated energetically to the new and to allow you to embrace your infinite possibilities. Mhm. So once you see yourself or you listen to the voices right there, then you can say, this isn't my decision, this isn't my voice, this thought is not mine. I'm moving forward and take the next step. This realization frees your mind and the memories of the ancestors who couldn't have done it differently. When you break from the fear, the whole family system breaks from the fear. Even the ancestors that are no longer here will break free, and your success will be the success of them. As you become authentic, it is an achievement for you and for those who wanted to do it differently. Your freedom and expression will be that of your ancestors. The expansion of your horizon depends on the emancipation of your mind.
Wow.
Yes, and we're gonna leave it
Very
there.
profound. It's a
Yes,
good place to leave. Yeah.
that's a good
Yeah.
ending phrase for you to
Observe,
observe and think about it and see where you are.
reflect on it, discern.
Yeah, what are your insights, and just the work is not just going to a meditation moment. The work happens every second of your life because we have so much to reprogram that all of these thoughts are coming to you because they are looking to be transformed by you. Because when you change them and create a different sort of path as you break from them and you transform them, then we get to transform life.
Mhm.
That's how powerful it is.
And you are that powerful.
And you are that powerful. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, so pretty much that's what we wanted to share today.
Absolutely.
Janet.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Good stuff. At least now we understand a little more, right?
Yes. Some juicy information
Yeah,
for you
absolutely.
to, yes,
Like there
to
is something to
reflect on
think
it.
about.
Yes, something to think about it.
So,
Yes, definitely. So we hope to see you again.
and if you liked it, please hit the like, subscribe. Maya already told you a little bit about when our next full course is gonna start. Also tell them about the book, the Journey's Hero.
Soul's Journey.
Soul's
Yes, yes, yes. Soul's
She has so
Journey.
much work that I get confused with all those wordings.
So Soul's Journey is a digital program that is already up in the platform of Hatmart.
Mhm.
And this is for people who don't like maybe reading. It's like so hard for me to read. I don't understand. But then it's all made of videos. So it's kind of the same information in videos, and then we will do the exercises together because then I'm there telling you, okay, now you're going to say this. Say after me. I see you. I recognize you. I surrender. I liberate myself. I can see why I was doing it that way. I get integrating, liberating, transcending. So we will do that in videos. It's very easy for you to follow, and you can do it at your own time and rhythm. So that's great. And so that's Soul's Journey on Hatmar. You can go and visit Hatmar, the platform of Hatmar, and Soul's Journey is there. Or also, what else to say, Janet? Yeah.
Well, that one, the Soul's Journey, and of course, if they're interested in the full program, to definitely look it up, and all the information will be on her website.
Yes,
And-
systemichealinginstitute.com. You can go visit that, or mayadariosol.com. And if you want a constellation session, Janet is available at, what's your number again?
407-460-5756.
Yes, so you can text her and say, Janet, I'm ready to transcend my ancestors.
I'm ready to give myself that gift.
Yes.
I want to start understanding myself.
Yes.
It's like that's the secret. Know thyself.
Yes, exactly.
So,
All right, so I guess that's all we
so
wanted to
please
say.
share.
Yes,
Anyone
important.
that you feel will resonate with this, please share, because we really want this to get to as many people, to the whole universe, the way I like to say. So
Yes.
hit the like, share, subscribe.
Send us a heart.
Yeah, buy
And
the
we are
book.
sending you hearts as well.
Yeah, buy the book, buy the book, buy the digital program. You have all these different tools as support as you work, as you do your journey.
Yes, please. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janet.
Yeah.
She's good, isn't she? I forget all of those little details, but she's so on them. I'm so glad, Janet, you compliment me on that way. Because if you ask me, I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to say today? That we have a program. Yes, we have a program, and we have a book. Yes, we have a book. And pretty soon we will also have the Audible.
Yes. So people that like to just hear it. You're doing the dishes, you're cleaning, you're doing your work, you can hear the book, which is great.
Yes, so Alchemy for the Soul is coming up soon in Audible version. Yay! We are working on it. Hopefully by February we will have it ready in February, March. For the ones who understand or read or speak Spanish, it is already it's ready to upload.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yes, it's already edited and
So
everything.
if you know anybody Spanish,
Yes,
go ahead and send it their way.
All right, guys, sending love
right.
and hugs and infinite blessings, and we
Yes.
hope to see you next
time.
Friday. Yes, next time.
week. Next
No,
Friday.
no, next Friday. I'm
Where's
going to
it?
Colombia.
Oh, she's taking
my
a little
gosh.
vacation for her birthday.
Yes,
Good for her.
yes, I need a little break.
Because you did make that commitment that this year you will give yourself some breaks.
I did
Yeah.
4 times a year, and
That's
I already have
That's
that's self-love, and I already have my places to go. And I'm going to begin with Colombia, which is where I was born, and that's my mother, the one that where I decided to be born. So I'm going there to re-energize myself, and then we are going to Egypt again in September. And I'm going to Mexico again because we are building up a retreat center. So we will be able, yes, so you will be able to travel, visit us in the Riviera Maya, and that'll be amazing. It's very close to Tulum, and so you'll be able to come and constellate there and visit the place and be in this amazing paradise.
Absolutely. So
Yes.
we will begin again in February when you come, right? Because it's going to be 2 weeks.
Yes, it's going to be a couple of weeks. So so it will be a couple of weeks. That's it.
So we will send. So keep posted. We will let you know.
Yes, and please share. Yes,
definitely.
That's why we put ourselves here for with the intention to bring this information and for others to be able to get access to it and
Absolutely.
and maybe see life differently, have a different perspective of what you're used to, and maybe give it a try and say, oh, that might work.
I like it.
So yeah. So family constellations. We love you guys.
All right.
Mwah.
Yeah. Bye bye.